What if the secret of becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars was never asking for a glass of water? Jenna Ortega, the woman who made Wednesday Addams the coolest golf on the planet, just admitted she spent entire workdays as a kid without food or water.
I really had it going for me as a child because I can't think of one mistake I made. Is that a terrible thing to say? I feel like I make mistakes now all the time. But as a child, I was so grateful and so excited to be there that my game face was on. I wasn't asking for a sip of water. I would go all day without eating, drinking, whatever, because I wanted so badly to not be in the way of anybody that maybe that was my mistake, was not actually looking after myself.
Not because of some crazy diet, not because of pressure from directors, but because she's terrified of getting in anyone's way. Now let's rewind real quick. Before the black braids, the deadpan stares, and the Netflix millions, Jenna was a little girl who decided at age 7 that acting was her future. Her parents laughed, literally laughed. That moment stuck. It became the chip on her shoulder, the quiet fuel. She started booking roles young, supporting parts on Disney Channel, the usual child actor circuit. By the time she landed the lead in Struck in the Middle at 13, she already had a reputation. Not for tantrums, not for being difficult, for being almost unnaturally easy to work with. Here's the part that hits different. When Esquire asked about her biggest rookie mistake on set, Jenna paused. I realized she couldn't name one. She explained it like this. As a kid, she was so grateful just to be there that her game face never slipped. She treated every day like a privilege she could lose at any second. So she made herself invisible in the best possible way. Not a sip of water. Nope. Hungry, you ignore it. The bathroom, you hold it. She could go the entire day without eating or drinking because the idea of raising her hand and slowing everyone down felt worse than discomfort. In her own words, I wanted so badly not to be in the way of anybody. That's not professionalism. That's a child turning herself into the perfect employee so no one would have a reason to regret hiring her. And then she drops the line that flips the entire story. Looking back now at 23, with the career, with the fame, and the perspective, Jenna finally named her real mistake. Not forgetting a line. Not missing a mark. Not being difficult. The mistake was never looking after herself. She admitted it flat out. Maybe going all day without basic needs wasn't the flex. She thought it was at that time. Maybe the kid was so determined to be zero trouble, ended up teaching herself that her own comfort didn't matter. That's the part that sits with you. Now, Hollywood is full of stories about child stars who are too loud, too demanding. And Jenna's story is the opposite. She was so determined not to be too much that she erased her own needs completely. So where does a kid even learn that? Part of it was pure personality. Jenna had always described herself as stubborn when her parents laughed at the age of 7, and now she was going to be an actor and she didn't get discouraged. She got locked in. The same stubbornness showed up on set as extreme self-control. She wasn't waiting for permission to take care of herself. She was waiting for permission to exist on set without causing inconveniences. And in her young mind, the only way to earn that permission was to need nothing. It's funny in a dark way. The same traits that made her a dream to direct, quiet, focused, zero drama, also meant she was quietly running on empty. Here's the twist most people miss. Jenna isn't telling the story as a victim. She's not pointing fingers to mean adults or toxic sets. She's owning it. She built this version of herself, the grateful kid, the invisible professional, the one who never asked for anything. And now she's looking at that younger version and basically saying, yeah, maybe ease up a little bit. Now that is rare. Most celebrity reflections either blame the industry or romanticize the grind. Jenna is doing something quieter and more interesting. She's admitting that the thing that helped her succeed also cost her something she didn't realize she was paying. Think about what that does to a person in long term. When you spend your formative years treating your own hunger and thirst like optional extras, it rewires how you see yourself. You start believing that being low maintenance is the same as being valuable. That's asking for help equals being a problem. A lot of high achieving adults are still running the same program. Jenna just happened to notice it early enough to name it out loud. She did it in the middle of an interview where she was supposed to talk about her rise, her role, and her process. Instead, she casually revealed that her greatest early strength was also her quiet self-sabotage. So the next time you watch Jenna Ortega command a scene with that unnerving calm, remember the little girl behind the performance, the one who sat through long days with an empty stomach and a dry throat because she refused to be anyone's inconvenience. She made it clearly, but she also left a breadcrumb for the rest of us. Sometimes the most impressive discipline is the one that quietly hurts you. And the real growth starts when you finally give yourself permission to ask for water. That's the story, not the fame, not the breakthrough. The kid who decided that the safest way to stay in the room was to need nothing from it. Now go drink some water. Jenna would insist. Now don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.